Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We are going back to that horrible world known as the JRC. But before we do the usual disclaimers, if you are unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, you're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. Please, in particular, take note of the article written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics. In it, they interviewed over 800 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so-called behavior modification program. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read that article so much. They threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic refused, so you know the drill. Please read the article. Share on all your social media. Also included is NeuroClastic's public statement in regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding just in case the JRC ever actually does see through with their threat. Trigger warning 1. When we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center or Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children watching, of course, please utilize your headphones. Trigger warning 2. This channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, very obviously, parental supervision is very much advised. Alright, we're going to go to where it says administrative costs. The affected entity would incur costs to learn about the rule. These costs include time to read and interpret the rule. Based on the effort from the one affected entity to read and respond to the 2016 proposed rule, we estimate that several employees at the affected facility would each spend between 5 and 10 hours reviewing the rule. In valuing this time, we use an average wages from the Bureau of Labor Statistics (BLS) nationally industry specific occupational employment and wage estimates for NAICS 623210 and NATCS 623220. The average hourly wage rates from 43.34 to 51.53 for management occupations. Average wage data from occupation codes 11-1000, 11-3031, and 11-9111 from 31.69 to 32.17 for healthcare occupations. Occupation code 290000 and is 85.59 for legal occupations. For the low estimate, we also assume that one manager, one legal professional, and one healthcare professional would spend 5 hours each to read and understand the rule. And for the high estimate, we assume that two managers, one legal professional, and one healthcare professional would spend 10 hours each to read and understand the rule. You have to forgive me if I don't care if it costs them money, considering they were the ones who created this evil, barbaric torture camp that they call a school and have run it with no checks and balances of any kind for well over 30 years. I don't feel sorry for the hit to their checkbooks, so sue me. If they could, I don't know, maybe stop torturing disabled people, they wouldn't have to worry about time is money bullshit now, would they? Just saying. We calculate the fully loaded wages by doubling the wage estimates to account for benefits and other indirect costs. We estimate that it would cost about $1,646 and $6,745 for the affected entity to read and understand the rule. In Table 2, we list the details of costs to read and understand the rule. And there's their little table that they have to put in there. They have to consider this, folks. But just reading through it for me is, again, infuriating. They're legally bound to do it. Believe me, I know, I get it. But it's absolutely infuriating. And we all know the JRC is going to bellyache up a storm. In fact, we're going to go over the lawsuit that they filed once we get finished with this document to try and stop the FDA for reissuing the ban rule. They spend millions of dollars in litigation to save their asses every year. They can take the temporary hit to their wallets to read over the final rule. Okay? They spend all this money and time defending the torture of disabled kids. They can take a hit. I don't feel sorry for any of them. We're going to go over real quick the summary of the quantified costs of the rule. We're getting close to the end of this document here, and then we'll go ahead and close out this video. We estimate that one-time costs of the rule range from $1,600 to $6,700. The annual incremental costs of the rule range from $0 per year to about $9.2 million per year. The lower bound cost estimate assumes that there are costs to the affected entity to read and understand the rule, but no change in the cost for changing to alternative or moving to a different facility. For the upper bound cost, we assume that all 54 individuals would transfer to the most expensive facility. Of course you would. It's all about the Benjamins, not about us or the fact that we're being tortured. It's all about the money. God, I'm old, I'm cranky, and I am tired of the bullshit, the nonsense, the lies, the shadiness, and the torture. If you can tell. Just beyond tired. Just because I know the JRC is going to bellyache about it, we're going to go ahead and go over it. So they can't turn around and say, well, you didn't tell us this or tell us that. Table 3 shows the annual breakdown of quantified costs over 10 years, and Table 4 reports the present value and annualized values of total costs associated with the proposed rule. Our primary estimate of the present value of the total incremental costs of the proposed rule over 10 years equals $34.47 million with a 7% discount rate and $40.30 million. I can't even say that properly, with a 3% discount rate. The annualized cost of the percent value of total costs range from $0 million to $9.17 million at both a 3% and 7% discount rate. The primary estimate of annualized cost over 10 years is $4.59 million at both a 3% and 7% discount rate. Which all of that, you'll see all those here. All right, we're going to get over to the transfers caused by the proposed rule, but we're going to close out this video first. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few we do get do tend to get removed from time to time. Folks, you know the drill. Please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe. Don't forget to hit the comments. I appreciate your time. And as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. I'll see you again here in a few minutes. Bye-bye, everyone.